December 2nd, and it is already almost 1 p.m. and I am just now checking in with you. We have had a busy morning getting through some school, doing all the normal things that we normally do. I slept in a little bit today. I normally, like I said yesterday, I get up like 7:30, but I just did not sleep great last night. So I slept in a little bit later, so we got a kind of a late start. But I have Advents to open, so let's do that. So let's start with the Very Fun Yarns one. Try not to be too crinkly. Today's color we're going into, so remember these are all dyed with indigo of some sort. We're going into this is going to blow out a ton. This is more of like it's a very kind of neon-y green color. I'm having a hard, there we go, it's a little bit better. I'm having a hard time finding a place that's quiet and the lighting is decent in our house today to chat with you, so I apologize for both. My husband is working from home and it is cold and rainy outside, so it's very dreary. But this color is called Marigold Green, and it is a beautiful kind of neon green. It's definitely more green than it's showing up very blown out on this camera right now. But the little message for today, for coziness and well-being, is day 2. If your feet are cold, chances are the rest of your body will feel cold too. Prevent cold feet by making sure everyone in the family has a pair of slippers to wear inside the house. Need a pattern to make your own? One of my favorites is the Simple Garter Stitch Slippers by Hannah I'm going to ruin her poor name. Hannah Levaniemi. I will link this below. Free and found on Ravelry. I've made that pattern quite a bit for my mom, who loves to get hand knit slippers, and I have also made the Cloud Slippers by Adrienne Sullivan, which I have talked about in past episodes of the podcast, which I'm wearing mine today. Woohoo! Which, by the way, if you notice, I'm decked into my wool items because I'm wearing my cowl, which is just an infinity cowl that I had some, I think it was from Zombie Knit Apocalypse. We got mini skeins one year. So I just sort of randomly, and I didn't do the same amount for each one. I just was kind of random about it. I think that worked out really great because it makes it more interesting. I have another one you'll probably see me wear later that has all of the same width. And for one, I'm kind of spacey sometimes, and I forget to count, or I'm like, oh yeah, I think that's pretty close. And then it's like 1 or 2 rows off, and then it looks a little kittywampus. But if you do it on purpose, then who cares? Or if you have like tons of little scraps and you just want to use up what you have. So this is my rainbow cowl, and I don't know that I used a pattern, but I've knit these before, and I generally cast on 80 to 100 stitches with a provisional cast on. I just knit in the round till I'm done, and then I Kitchener stitch them together. So that's this, and then I'm wearing my Malin sweater that has been patched a lot because I love it so much. It used to be entirely gray, but now it has these elbow patches and it has the sleeves. And then I'm wearing my slippers, and I'll take my slippers off, I'm wearing my wool socks. I seem to be channeling the wrong holiday though. These are kind of Valentine-y, but that's all right. So it's kind of cold in our house today. We do have a wood fireplace that we burn downstairs, but up in the bedrooms where I am right now, it gets kind of cold because then the furnace doesn't kick on. We have a gas furnace. So anyway, so back to the Advent countdown. So we have these 2 so far for Very Fun Yarns. They're starting out very light, which was not necessarily my plan when I first envisioned the kit, but it's nice to see that indigo doesn't necessarily have to make a deep dark blue. It can also be combined with other colors to make something lighter, something a little unexpected. Okay, moving on. Lavender Loom. Again, nice, beautiful, deep colors. These are so rich and beautiful. So like greens, purples, a little bit of pink in there. So I think I said yesterday that Sam dyes dark and moody colors. And this is definitely dark and moody. But what I really was trying to say is that she is a genius at layering her dyes. As a natural yarn, I can't say this right, naturally dyed yarn dyer, working with natural dyes, it is much harder for me to get really deep, rich colors. For one, the layering technique is a little bit different, and it doesn't quite, a lot of times I work with liquids because I make the dyes myself, whereas an acid dyer would work more with powders. And I think it's easier to control the intensity when you're working with the powder than you are with the liquids. So anyway, I love that we both have very different styles, and I love that she can produce things that I would really have a hard time producing. So here's the first two, which brings me to what am I going to make with this? I'm so excited because I don't really have 17 projects on the needles. I decided, because I'm in a blanket place, people, I'm in a blanket place. This is really bad printing, so I apologize. My printer is not good at printing photos, and it's black and white. But it is the Pixie Dust Cowl by Kay from the Bakery Bears, and maybe I'll try to put in a better picture from her pattern page here. So, but I'm not going to make it into a cowl. What I decided is, so her cowl, the width of it, I said that wrong, circumference, because it's a circle, is 24 inches. So I am going, and each color in her cowl takes 10 grams of a mini. And Sam's minis are 20 grams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double the stitch count. So I will end up with 48 inches wide, which will be a 4-foot wide blanket, which actually will be pretty big. We'll see. Maybe I'll only do 36. I will report back later this week, next week, how it's going. But I'm going to increase the width, but I'm going to keep the same pattern, and I'm just going to knit flat instead of in the round. So basically the Pixie Dust Cowl is a chevron sort of pattern, and I'm going to have to do a little tweaking if I'm doing it flat, because I know she has some purl sections that I'm going to have to do differently. But I'm super excited about it. And I think if I don't have, so I only have the 20 minis from Sam, if it's not long enough, I have bought a fair number of Sam yarns, so I'll probably just keep that as my lavender loon blanket, and I'll just continue to add. Maybe I'll watch for when she has minis again, and then I'll just add some minis in. She also has a really cool Moon Fade kit, I think, Moon Fade Club coming out. I think she's doing pre-orders right now. That's supposed to be kind of dark and moody, so I'll just keep adding to it. But yeah, that's my plan. The Pixie Dust Blanket, aka the Pixie Dust Cowl by Kay Jones. So I think I'm going to start to wind that up this afternoon. I'm finished with school. It's Friday. I was going to go on a Costco run. My 15-year-old is learning to drive, and he wanted to go driving, but now he's sort of changed his mind, as 15-year-olds do. So I might just end up hanging out at home and getting a few other things done at home, and then tomorrow go shopping with my husband. We also go to the farmer's market tomorrow, and there is a little holiday bazaar thing happening, so I hopefully will take you along there, but not sure how much more I'll talk today on the video. Probably I'll check in at least once more before the end of the night, but I think I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to wind up some minis and cast on another project. Oh, I never told you what the name of it was. It's called Moon Haven. Sorry about that. I'm a slacker. Okay, have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you later tonight. Bye-bye. good evening. I'm checking in one more time before I close out this video for Vlogmas Day 2. And it has been kind of a not very exciting day, so hopefully you weren't totally bored watching this video. But it was a typical day with school, and this afternoon I didn't do a ton of other stuff. I had this big plan that I was going to clean the kitchen, but that didn't happen, so that is going on the to-do list for tomorrow. But I wanted to show you, I did spend quite a bit of time this afternoon casting on. I wound my yarn and cast on the pixie dust cowl pattern that I'm making into a blanket with my lavender loon advent. So here you can kind of see I've started. I just have, let's see if I can get better picture of that. It's kind of dark right now because it's pretty late right now. It's like 8 o'clock, and when in Minnesota right now it's like dark at 4:30. So yeah, so it's not much to see yet, but what I did is I did one repeat and I'm almost done. So here you can see my hole, and it's a 16 stitch repeat. So I put my little markers in. I ended up doing so it's a cowl, I told you before. I ended up doing 2 more repeats than what she had in the cowl pattern, and I'm knitting it flat. So I had to alter a little bit, like rows that I knit versus purled to get the same look, but really it was pretty easy. So it's of course all scrunched up on here. I think it's going to be a nice size blanket, and I think what I'm going to do is I weighed my yarn after I finished the first repeat, and then I'm going to weigh the yarn after to figure out how many grams I need for each repeat, and then I'm going to do as many repeats as I can with the 20-gram skein, and then the rest I'll just save for scrap project or something else. But I'm not gonna overthink it. I was going to like hold another skein double, but then I was thinking it would wash out the beautiful rich color that Sam worked so hard to dye. So I decided not to do that, and I'm just going to do it like this. And if it's too short, well then either I'll just wait until she does another advent next year and get it, or I'll just watch for her other colors and always save like 20 grams to do for that skein, and it'll just be my lavender loon blanket. And it doesn't necessarily have to be done by the end of Advent. I'm just going to knit on it and enjoy it while I can. And I am knitting it on a 2.75 millimeter, I believe. It's a size US 2. The pattern recommends a 3, which I think is a little bit, I think Kay Jones must knit a slightly tighter than I do, which is not surprising to me because I tend to be a loose knitter. Anyway, I really am enjoying this, and I'm probably going to work on this some more tomorrow, and hopefully I can show it to you in the daylight so you can actually see the colors a little bit better. But that is that. And the only other thought is I was chatting with my husband, and I was kind of joking that I was telling him I was all excited, and I was telling him what I was going to cast on. He is not a maker or a knitter, so he appreciates what I make, but he does not get excited like I do. So my excitement was lost on him. However, the way I see it is I'm not really wearing shawls right now. I like to wear these cowls that don't fall off my shoulders when I'm like working with stuff, or that don't tempt the kitten that we have in the house. He's 6 months old now, or almost 7 months, but he still attacks everything dangly. So it doesn't make much sense for me to make a wrap or a shawl that I'm not going to wear, and I want to use all the yarn together. So it makes more sense for me, instead of making a big wrap or shawl, to put it into a blanket. So I'm not feeling bad about casting another blanket. It will get done when it gets done. So all that said, I think I'm going to sign off. There may be a little more recording yet after this. I have to see what I can get, but I'm going to go warm up with a nice shower and kind of wrap up my things for the day and do some more comfy knitting, edit this video, and excuse me, and hopefully I will have lots of fun things to share with you tomorrow when we go on our adventure to the farmers market and kind of out and about in the city of Rochester. So Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day to December and Vlogmas, and I'll see you tomorrow.